Hi, y'all. Welcome. It's Sunday night at 7 p.m. exactly on the dot. And here we're at another episode of Rev It Up. And this is our first of the Meet the Band episodes. And this is Uncle Funker. And I'm going to introduce you to Sasha, Rye, and Brandon. And we are missing one player, and that's Todd. He unfortunately can't be with us tonight. So now I'm going to let you guys all talk because I just, let you have your mics back. Cheers. We're going to just say up front that Brandon's webcam is lagging, probably because of the, age of the webcam maybe. So he's going to look like he's just staring and not blinking for a while. But he's definitely with us, and he is compos mentis. So much beautiful Orlowski hair. Okay, Matt Price is here.
Hey, Matt. I'm your biggest fan.
A little bit of Coca-Cola.
So
someone wants some Coca-Cola.
Who wants some Coca-Cola? Who's got women at their house?
That's my wife.
Probably.
Oh, hi, Naomi.
Hi, Naomi.
Hi, Naomi.
Hi.
So, wave. Matt is waving. Biggest fan. Feeling is mutual. Okay, Price has had enough time. So, one of the first things I'm going to ask is for each of you to tell us about your beginnings in music. When did you start? I'm now probably go clockwise and start with Sasha. When I've kind of got an idea, but when did you start picking up instruments, thinking that you wanted to play? I know the whole family is kind of musical, but
yeah.
Give me an idea. What age?
I was actually late for my family. I was like 17 years old when I decided I'd want to play.
No, really? Wow, that is late for the Orlowski generation.
Yeah, I was a scrub. I just wanted to play in the dirt and ride bikes, so.
That's cool. Brandon's laughing, but we can't tell.
I know. He's stoic. He's like a
very stoic. So you were about 17, and what did you decide to pick up and play or do?
It was guitar. I think I had my first guitar was a BC Rich Warlock. It was like a $90, Guitar Center.
I've seen a lot of those things around.
Still have it. I don't play it. It's like taken apart, but I still have it. And I don't know. I listened to so much David Bowie. I think at that point, I just couldn't. I had to start a band. You know what I mean? I was like, oh man, I could be like David Bowie. But I don't know. I was late. Everyone else in my family, they were like 6 years old playing piano and keyboard, and everyone tried to put me in lessons and tried to put instruments in my hand, but I was an outdoorsy little kid. I was always coming home with like leeches or ticks on me and stuff. Everyone's.
I used to bring home the strays too.
Yeah.
Find them and bring them home. My mother would go, "What's in the box?" Let's go to Rye. Rye.
Yes.
You're too busy trying to monitor your own fan base there. I see that.
No, I was trying to make sure I could see the chats too.
Did I ever ask you this question in person? What did you how old were you when you started, and was it always just drums?
No, I wanted to be a guitarist at first when I was like 10, and that lasted for about a year until I seen Eddie Brookings play drums. He's like a few years older than me and totally killed it. He was a high schooler. I was junior high. One day he was trying this fill. My class was after his, and I like nailed the fill, and he was like, "You little bastard." He's like, "I've been trying that fill for 3 months." And I was like, "All right, I guess drums is my thing." So 11 years old, yeah. That was it. Started playing.
So you've known Eddie a long time.
My whole life, yeah, forever, yeah. Yep.
That's cool. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, Matt LaFar's here. He always still do bring home the strays.
Miss you, Matt.
Yeah, we miss you, Matt. Brandon,
Oh, well,
I know you can't move, but
Or
you can
blink.
talk.
yeah, but
Or
I'm here.
blink. Okay. Carry on.
Yeah, like you said, like I started pretty early, picking up like piano at grandma's house. Grandma had a piano, and I think Uncle Jake and Uncle John both had guitars, so I was always picking them up and just
Oh,
strumming
we have
along,
to
seeing what I could
we have to
figure
tell
out.
the audience though that Sasha and you are cousins, first
Oh.
cousins.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've known Brandon my whole life, but he hasn't
Yep.
known. Oh, wait,
But
he's
he
known
has-
me my whole life, but I haven't known him his whole life.
Yeah, that.
Really?
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, we're different
Weird.
ages, believe it or not.
Yep. Something like
How
that.
far apart? I don't even have a clue how old Sasha is. Doesn't matter.
What do you think I am?
I don't know. You're younger than me for sure. I'm the oldest person in this room. Yeah, Matt, we miss you too. I'm older than Matt. So Brandon, you started playing piano?
Yeah, a little bit. Like at grandma's, I'd make her make me copies of like sheet music and stuff, like that she'd have at elementary school, and come home and show me the notes. And Martha would help out, our Aunt Martha, and so then we had other uncles with guitars I'd try to pick up. Then I'd go to Dad's band practices and play the drums whenever I possibly could. So I was always playing a little bit of everything.
Cool. So we'll go back to Sasha. When did you get serious? Not at 17. When did you absolutely get really serious about your music? How mature?
Oh, I was probably like, I was probably
23.
no, I was 19, and I was in the Marine Corps, and I had like lugged this piece of shit, cheap Fender acoustic guitar with me from North Carolina all the way to Japan. And I didn't have internet, I didn't have cable, I didn't have a cell phone, I didn't have anything. And so I just played guitar, and I just started impressing, all these stupid Marines I was hanging out with, and coming up with funny songs and stuff. And I don't know, I think that once I started entertaining those guys, it just felt like it was reality, and I was really comfortable doing it, no nerves. And then we go out and I'd play in Japan a little bit in some cafes and stuff, and like the Nago Cafe and Okinawa City Cafe, these bars, and people were entertained. And I don't know, that's when it just switched on for me, and then I never put the guitar down. I mean, every single day I picked the instrument up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rye,
Yes.
how about you? When did you get serious about your music?
I don't know. Always.
Dang,
I just-
one upper.
I just
What?
I just,
Since
no.
11 years old?
Hell yeah. Since I
Dang.
was 11. I mean, I just wanted to play. I don't know what you mean by getting serious. It's just an art. So
Well,
I think it's like,
well, it is an art, but like I'm going to join a band. I'm going to try to
yeah. I mean,
make some
that's how
side money.
Yeah. Just always the money came after. I don't know.
So you didn't do it for the money.
No.
I don't think any of you
I
do it
mean-
for the money.
Could you?
I mean,
Some
I would
some
love
people-
to, obviously.
Some people do, but I mean, some people do and are out there,
Yeah.
slogging all the time trying to make a living as a professional musician.
I'm sure I could sell myself out to a funk cover band or something, but no, I'm just kidding.
Cover band.
No, I miss you guys. Fuck. So yeah, seriously. But it's just been an art for me. I just always wanted to progress, and it's always been like a culture thing, like anything else. Skateboarding, bicycling, the drones, everything. It's just like an art for me. It's an outlet. It's just what I do.
He's a real Renaissance man.
Yeah.
He is. I'm not joking. I know I'm joking.
Skateboarder here too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Brandon's a
skateboarding
Yeah.
seems to run in this sort of your age group, musician wise. That seem to be
Well,
skateboarders.
Huge influence, like
Yeah.
as a teenager. That's when it was exploding, pretty much. So like
Hi,
skateboarding,
Russell.
punk rock, and all that. Yeah, he's down there playing around.
I see him.
He's in
Probably
slow
humping
motion.
This thing.
He's like,
That's the first
"Ooh."
time you've ever seen him in slow motion, right? That dog is never in
Burned
slow
it.
motion.
Boom,
You'll
So-
see him
Russell.
in like 7 minutes when the catches up.
Yeah, when it catches up. So Brandon.
When did I get serious?
Yeah.
Well, kind of same thing with rides. It's just always something I pretty much just kind of did. Like I always had a guitar, I always had a piano or two, or played trumpet all through school. So I was, always had some instrument of some kind.
Nice. So, assuming you've all been in bands previous to this one before.
Yep.
Sasha, how many before this one? How long?
How many bands? I don't know. How about 3 or 4 real bands, and then a bunch of little, you have your jam buddies or people you like to jam out with. But I think the longest stint I had with another band was like a solid 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't even like to rehearse things. I just want to go perform. And when you find musicians like us, like Uncle Funker, where you just have, a connection with, it's like, let's just go and play, and whatever happens.
Yeah, it's quite an
people are gonna
interesting
pay for
group
it.
of people.
Yeah. So
getting together.
Yep.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Rye, you've been in like a ton of bands.
I know. I'm the local
You
drummer.
probably can't
whore.
remember them all. Yeah, you're the drumming whore.
I mean,
top dollar.
when it came to money, the most money I made was playing in a country band out west.
Hell yeah.
We're talking
Oh
about
yeah,
money.
that was great though. Tell
That
them who
was
you
fun.
opened for and stuff.
Oh man, lots of people. Georgia, Florida Line. Who was the other ones?
The band Perry.
The band, yes, that's I don't pay attention to country, man, but I just play the drums. But yeah, so that was cool, And Mike Reeves, you're out there. He's awesome, great. Play with him and his brother. They're bass player, kind of like you and Sasha, family of musicians, and I played with Ron Artis. He passed away, but his family's doing well, and all his aunts or all his brothers and sisters are on The Voice, I think it was. I don't remember, he was with Michael Jackson, so I learned a lot from him,
Cool.
So yeah, just
brushes with greatness. We should talk about that. Sasha, any brushes with greatness?
I've had a couple here and there. I don't know. I don't know. It's not like honestly, to be frank, the one musician and celebrity to ever really make me anxious or nervous was meeting Nate Smith at Lake George.
That was rad.
With Rye.
That was rad. Yeah.
That was just like
he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's
one of the world's best drummer, and he was just sitting on a park bench in Lake George by himself. Nobody around him. No one was paying him the time of day. And I brought my 1-year-old up at the time, and I was like, Mr. Nate Smith,
you're right.
I really like your work. I'm a big fan. And he's like a, not to, height discriminate, but he's a very small fella. I'm not very large, but he made me feel like a large, powerful man. But I withered in his presence. I was like, oh my God, like that was greatness to me. I felt like such a small, piece of dirt, and when I was in front of him. And I haven't taken a selfie in years and years and years. I hadn't had a cell phone in years and years. And I had like this, my wife's phone and stuff like that. And I was like, I hate to sound like a weirdo, but could I get a selfie? And, he was, but I've met celebrities and stuff, but I don't look at anybody like they're great or anything like that. You know what I mean? But to me,
we all put our pants on one leg at a time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But honestly, the only person that really I felt like I was touching greatness was shaking hands with Nate Smith.
Awesome. Brandon.
That was a magic weekend, though, Brandon.
Yeah, Rye was there. Rye was there with me.
It was sick.
We sat
actually
behind him.
Literally my favorite Latin drummer ever and funk drummer in the same weekend was ridiculous. And it was the same for me, Sasha, like meeting Daphne Pritu. that was our wedding dance song. I used one of his songs.
Oh, wow.
And he was there. Same thing. I thought, I'm like, wow, you're such a small man, but you just destroy it on the drums.
Right?
But it was, so humbling. And he was so nice. And he was like, yeah, baby. Yeah. Because Cairo was dancing to the opening band and it was sick. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember when Nate Smith yelled at Cairo? He's like,
yeah.
He's like, we'll play in a second. I'm sorry, man.
That's funny. Brandon.
Sorry.
Any brushes with greatness? I know, you see a lot of bands.
Well, yeah, mostly with like doing sound with the bands. Like honestly, like not so much playing, but like running sounds. like lots of people. Nashville and North Creek. Those guys were
Yeah.
also always.
Oh yeah,
That's
those guys.
awesome.
Daryl Dasher and
Yeah.
what was the other guy's name? I can't
Uh,
think of names, but
Gibson
yeah, Dave
Dave
Gibson
Gibson.
and Mike Deagle, who writes with
Yep,
Brantley
yep,
Gilbert.
exactly. There you go.
Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of really cool Nashville guys were at that. That's
Yep,
that's,
and-
that's
Mr.
one-
Sound Guy, that's sick.
Yep, and like Artemis
I was
Pyle
there
another
too.
time down in Albany.
Yep.
That was pretty
Yep.
cool. That place was packed that night. Holy crap!
And how about that gig I got for you, John Wade?
Oh yeah. That done that.
Rubbing
twice
elbows with
now.
the famous.
Wow.
Yeah, and Dave Brubeck's on there.
Yep.
What
Yep.
was his name?
Crap, can't think of his name.
Yeah, he was really awesome. That was probably one of my favorite shows of all that I've done. Was that show?
That's cool. So what about funk? The band's called Uncle Funker. Maybe we should try. Maybe we should ask. What made you decide you wanted to have a funk jam band?
That was easy.
How did it start? How did it start? Who started it?
It was just probably me and Sasha. We started getting into Wolfpack. Honestly,
No.
that was like, oh Jesus. Well, for me it was, and
Yeah.
it was like, oh, this stuff is awesome. I want to do stuff a lot like this. And
Yeah.
I've always kind of liked funk, like all kinds of music. And
I have to say that was one of the best shows we ever went to. Was to see Corey Wong.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I was with you
Agreed.
two.
Yeah.
And you
yeah.
guys had like these big cheesy grins on your face almost the whole night from ear to
Yeah.
ear. You were so happy. I mean, he's a great guitar player, don't get me wrong, but I mean, you guys were like eating it up big time.
yeah, that was a
yeah.
great show too. That was
It was
yeah.
a great show. No, I really enjoyed it. It was a great show.
I sat
Except
with.
for the inflatable tube men that kept flying in front of me.
I know. I sat and spoke with Emily C. Browning that night for a couple minutes,
Yeah.
and
the
that
opener.
the opener, and
She was nice.
she was
She was really
phenomenal.
good too.
Yeah, I mean, her finger picking technique was great. I mean, no, actually, for me and Brandon, I think we started the funk band together around the time Prince died,
Yeah,
and it was
right
like,
around then too.
I'd been listening to a lot of Zapp and Roger, and I think Brandon had been listening to Wolfpack. I hadn't listened to him yet. I hadn't even heard anything from him, and so like
That's what
I was
really
like,
triggered it for me. That.
we should start a funk band, and then he was passing along like Wolfpack and Snarky Puppy to me, and then I was telling him like, check out
And
Zapp
Bull
and Roger
Mark.
Troutman, and yeah, I like love the OG funk, and I think Brandon likes a lot of the newer progressive funk, and then we had different members in the band, as Stephanie knows. We had Adam Patton and Pat Grooms. Pat Grooms was the drummer, and Adam was our bass player.
Both great guys. Both great.
Oh yeah,
both
Both
great
great.
guys. And I think Adam's schedule just got blasted because he had just started a business, and Pat moved out to Colorado to just explore. And
I remember it was like 2 weeks after the show we went to, and then boom, he
Yeah.
was gone.
I know.
Well, he was a young kid, so he's never really left
Just
home.
taken off, yeah.
Yeah,
There you
and
go.
I couldn't hold it against him. I'm really glad he did it. And he's still out there, and I think he lives out in like Durango, and he's having a blast. I mean, aside from the current situation, but he's all good. But it was
It
weird.
looks beautiful, all his pictures that he sends back.
Yeah. But it was weird, like to start the funk band, because that was a short-lived little section of Uncle Funker's history. Because I mean, we were only a band less than a couple months, really.
Yep.
And then those guys left, and Brandon and I just didn't want to give it up, so we contacted. I think Adam contacted Rye.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Was that true? Yeah.
No, I think I sent a message to Rye because we went to the Weezer show, and you were talking how
Yes.
and
Oh,
like
wow.
2 weeks later, like Pat left.
Yep.
Yeah, because we all went to
I know
Weezer.
someone who wants the drum. Oh, this works out.
Yeah, that's what. Isn't that where I kind of like got you guys talking about it?
Yes.
When we all went to see Weezer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then brought
Stephanie,
Rye in for that other kind of side project with John Blake, the happy ending. That we had
That's
like,
right,
did
yeah.
like 2 or 3 practices there, and then Adam
Yep.
kind of left that one as well too for greener pastures or how it
Yeah, but
works.
Stephanie's like woven in our history.
I'm woven in a lot of history. I've been around a long time. But I'm surprised that like Brandon and Rye hadn't gotten together, being that they probably passed each other in this area
totally.
forever.
I know
Why you guys never hooked up before?
Well, Well, I know we met
Right.
each other once before when you were playing with Jonathan Newell's Dave Matthews tribute. Like
Yep.
instantly, like it's like, oh shit, this guy's a really good drummer. He's playing, Dave Matthews shit. Like that's hard. And yeah, that actually left an impression on me. I still remember that.
He
Hell
left
yeah.
an impression on me.
Yeah,
Who is
our first
who's
practice.
attached? Who's attached to this person? Chloe Pecorino.
That's our little
our
cousin.
She's
Oh,
my
it's your cousin?
She's
Yep.
not little, Brandon. She's my
Oh.
age. I think like
You're all little to me. I'm the oldest
Yeah.
cousin.
yeah, that's true.
Oh.
Brandon is the eldest cousin out of 100.
And here's our dear friend, Mr. Paul Tracy. Hi, Paul. Just letting you know who's hanging
Paulie
on
T,
and
what's up, buddy?
hollering.
Chloe
Yeah,
Pecorino.
he's so funny. You saw that comment from Rufus, right?
Rufus Red.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Sexy motherfuckers.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's true.
Another cool dude. So Funk, the beginning of it with Adam and Pat. Okay, they went away. You guys got hooked up together. When did you decide to take it to because it's a little different than it was in the beginning. Yeah. You guys have this it's almost like you're doing a mixtape. You go from one jam right into another with your teasers and back out again and roll over into you know what I mean? It's almost like you're a DJ like I used to be, where I was you had to keep the dance floor going the whole time. Your band does that. It's like this one great big mashup the whole set.
That's the point. That's the idea.
Right. So what made you decide that? I mean, how did that come to be?
It's been
those guys.
Those guys.
Yeah.
Those guys.
I mean, Brandon and I both played in bands. I don't want to speak for Brandon, but we both played in bands where it's like you introduce the song, you play the song
too much talking.
Yeah, and then you start talking about something that's
don't get me wrong, some bands that's okay. If that's the thing that band is known for, then that's cool. But I see this a lot. Like running sound, but like,
and I run sound with them.
Like what keeps like the party going is people want a tempo, they want the beat, and
that's probably the biggest part, right?
They don't want stories and politics and anything else in between. They just want to have fun.
Yeah. But I think like the biggest part of it was watching bands while we did sound, and we're like seeing what's working and what's not working for every single band in this area.
Yep.
And we could see the high points of the night and the low points because we're sober working. You know what I mean? Neither of us are getting hammered or blitzed or anything like that. We're just working. And so like when you start to you pay attention at first. Like for me, running sound with Brandon, I was always like nervous, like I'm gonna mess something up. You know what I mean? He'll leave me at the board. I'm like, oh god. But once you get comfortable, you can like start paying attention, like and seeing what the bands are doing right and and I'm not gonna criticize anybody, but that's what made us do like what you did back in the dance days of America, Stephanie. It's like you just want people to keep moving, and like for us too, it's a little. And
that's your job depends on it. Well,
yeah, and it's a little psychology too. Like you keep dancing, then you're gonna drink, you're gonna spend more money. Like the bars are gonna be happy,
and my boss is gonna be very happy.
Exactly.
You're buying
and if people are singing along, knowing the words, they're gonna drink even more because their mouth's dry from singing all the words.
Yeah.
Well, it's true. I mean, that's the whole function of the live music being there is to make people dance and drink and buy food. I mean, that's how they make money.
I remember the good old days.
The good old days.
But it works well with the guys we have too, Stephanie. Like with Todd and Rye, they're both like really adaptable musicians. Like I think for me, it just seems like both of them took out a bigger chunk. But they took a bigger bite than they initially thought, because then they get in and we're like, all right, here's a mashup. It's like a 30-minute song.
Well, you gotta feel bad for the poor drummer who's got to sit there for a 30-minute long mashup. And I mean, some of them change tempos, and he's got to think on his butt actually, because he's sitting on the throne there doing his thing. He's got to think about it, and he's the one that's always in motion. You guys can stand there. And this is not to be rude about guitarists or anything else. You guys can stand there and twiddle 1-2 fingers or whatever, and this guy's body is going do 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 boom 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 boom.
Yeah, but he's got a chair.
Okay, so but he's bouncing.
It's
in
not
that
a chair. It's a throne.
Throne.
It's a throne.
I guess that's the reason why it's called
royalty deserves a throne.
It's a
Just kidding.
stool.
Royalties
Don't
are
church it up, boy.
You're a stool.
A stool. Okay. So yeah. So I mean, the whole idea of
Yes, Naomi, that's true.
yes, it is true that you have to kind of give the drummer a breather. They got to have like a couple of seconds to catch their breath.
What about the
But you
singer?
guys don't do
Okay.
that. Probably because you have such a great drummer
Yeah.
who's in really good shape
Yeah.
and
Well,
not,
the one
you
mashup
know,
has like the
there's a
Papa
lot of
was
people that
born,
won't be able to do what he does.
Well, honestly, one of the most impressive shows I've ever been to was P-Funk, and the drummer just held the funk, the groove, the whole night. And
Oh,
I'm
that's
down
cool.
with that. I'm down with that. That shit's awesome. It's cool. And I like tempo changes, meter changes. I love that stuff. I'll eat it up. I mean, Capital Zen was all about that stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
And I don't
But
know.
as far as the funk goes,
Yeah, 4 on the floor, man. I love it. I
Yeah.
love dance. Anything to make your head bob, I love being part of that. I want to do that.
I hate talking into the microphone once I already start singing. You know what I mean? I feel like, well, now I'm not using this thing like I'm supposed to,
But you say
Aw.
great things.
No, but it's in all candor, I can't stand everyone gets a microphone and there's so much power, Excuse me, I'm the one with the microphone. I'm the one talking. You're all listening, And maybe people do it subconsciously, but I see so many bands. It's not to knock anybody, but they talk so much, and most people there are just fucking drinking. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I just wanted to come up with a show
So if you're not just drinking.
yeah, and like people can dance, and like I want to have like an all-out fun experience. Like I want songs they know the words to, guaranteed. I want songs they can dance to if they don't know them. Like I don't want to play anything too slow or too wonky so people will. And we're constantly running through songs. Like we'll learn we've learned so many songs, and then we've practiced them, learn them, we get them down, and it's like no, not gonna use it. Because like, yes, we can play it. Yes, it sounds cool to us. People might not like it, or it's just not going to have the same fit and feel of like, our cornerstone set list, which is like a feel more than it is a set list. I feel like we have enough songs where we can rotate our set list a good amount, but when you hear it, it almost sounds like you're getting the same experience every time you hear us, or something really similar. It's just going to be, 3 hours of fucking music. Sorry for my language, but it's gonna be
That's
3
all right.
hours worth of F-wording music, and you're only gonna and we only take breaks to literally just hydrate, clean some of the sweat off, and then go back out. So
Yeah, I've seen that. I've actually watched you guys do that. So
we sweat a lot. We're sweaty, but everyone
I've
moves
always been a
around.
sweater.
Ooh, he's a sweater.
What?
A sweater
Oh,
A
vest.
yeah.
sweater?
Yeah, especially back in the skateboarding days. Like I would just sweat profuse.
Well, of course. I mean, most people do when you're doing that kind of activity. There are a lot. I mean, it's called sweaty drummer hugs, sweaty guitarist hugs. I was
Yeah.
always told
Sweaty
every
drummer
time
hug.
you get after the show, they would go, "Oh, like this," and I'm like, "No, sweaty drummer hug, thank you."
Like, I'm the opposite. I'm like, oh, sorry, I'd hug you, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
But there's
I'm
some of them that
nasty.
want to hug you, and they're nasty, but they don't care.
Yeah,
Right,
they're,
yeah.
drunk. They're drunk. They don't care.
They don't care.
No.
So I would be like, no problem. Just here's my hand.
I move around a lot.
Yeah, you all do.
Yeah, we do move around, which I like. I hate the static feeling of just being trapped in a little square. So I like to just sometimes I'll even just skip around and stuff during.
What you need is show dancers in the background doing the funky dances.
Well, we want to show dance.
Are you
What?
offering?
Not me. No, thank you.
Phillips
got
Head
plenty
used to
to
do that
do.
back in the day.
Ooh,
Yep. Phillips Head did that back in the day. They had dancers.
Phillips Head did. Wow.
Yep.
They had dancers.
Well, I mean,
Back in the day,
I
yeah.
remember that.
Jason
I
Irwin
don't remember
Dog.
that.
is a rock star, so.
Yep.
Well, I remember the
Yeah.
Phillips Head girls, but I wouldn't have called them dancers.
Right. Okay.
I was thinking more along the lines of like the solid gold dancer. Well, that's too old for you guys back in the
Oh, I know what you
70s. The
mean.
solid gold dancers.
Yeah.
Soul Trains.
Soul Train sort of thing. I mean, that would be an interesting thing to add to your funk.
Yeah.
Right.
repertoire. But I was like I was saying to you guys the last time I saw you, there was a part of your set that you played that sounded just like one of my old tapes from when I was a DJ, one of my old
cool.
reel-to-reel tapes, because I used to tape my shows on reel-to-reel back then. And
cool.
there was like there was a set there that was almost, I think, song for song, the exact same set that I played. And I was thinking that had to be like 1985, 86. I was trying to figure out what year it could have been. And I actually have come home and went through my tapes looking for that particular tape. But
Did you
I've got a bunch. I've got them. Yeah, I've got a bunch of them. So yeah, so I mean, to me, it sounds like a live DJ session, but with musicians. That's what it sounds like.
It's really
funky.
experimental too, though. We do a lot of that on the fly. We'll just keep going, or Brandon, or
yeah, we'll just
Todd,
hear something and be like, oh, let's
do this now.
Let's do this.
And while the drummer's still going and stuff, somebody will change the song up at the very end of the previous song, and then everybody's like, once we start to dial it back towards the end of each song, you can notice like we all start making eye contact a lot more. Like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
We're gonna end it. But most of the times, like, and it's funny. Some of it's really comical. Some of that stuff makes me roll on the floor, honestly. Like Brandon will just start playing a song, or he'll go back to something we played in like the first set and tie everything back in, so it doesn't stop. And then that was an original mashup, so we'll just continue on with the mashup. So some of that stuff.
Yeah, and then there's like you can throw teasers in there, so you only do like 30 seconds, but you do like 30 seconds of the chorus of some famous song, and then you roll into the next thing. It just so happens to be that it's probably the same BPM or
the same key
or key or something. Yeah.
Yep. It's funny though. Some of that stuff is so we used to play like that. I don't know what it's called. It's like the carnival song. It's like and we would bust that out like 6 times in a night.
Really?
Yeah, we just play it in E or play it in A, and it was so funny. God,
so how did you get how did you get the name Uncle Funker? Why is it Uncle Funker and not?
That just randomly came to me
Brandon.
after I left Sasha's house, coming home after we decided we want to start a band, and I was just I got like right to the top of the hill in Amsterdam, and
he influenced
you.
Me
like a freight train. It was just like Uncle Funker. Oh, that's fucking it right there. I messaged Sasha right away. He's like, I got it, Uncle Funker.
I'm like, all right. I'm like, people are gonna hate putting that on a bill, but do it.
I don't mind putting it on a bill. I think it sounds great.
We've had a couple. I mean, really funny, serious offers from like colleges around this area where they're like, we want to have your band play, and like this year, the everything, the health pandemic put a halt on all of it. But one of the schools, I just kept thinking they're gonna put that on like the lights of the movie theater, like Uncle Funker playing at a school.
That's fine. What's wrong with that? Let's address Mr. Tracy here. Does anyone notice that you're describing dead and fish sets right now?
Oh, never heard of them.
No, I know Sasha doesn't really like or listen to Fish.
No,
I've listened to a bunch of Fish. They have definitely been a big influence on a lot of my musical taste.
Early Fish, I'll agree with early Fish.
Yep.
Early Fish was great and very influential. I'm not a big fan of Fish in the past couple of years. They're not going anywhere different. They're not trying to.
I'd agree with you. Pretty much after like Story of the Ghost for me is just kind of been it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to discredit Fish or the Grateful Dead, but I'm not a fan of either. But the jam, but I have been to jam band shows, and I went to Grateful Dead.
I'm not really a fan of the Dead though.
No, I'm not a fan of either of them.
Not at all.
Yeah. So you never were like a Deadhead, wanted to follow the band around. Was there a band that you ever did, any of you, that you wanted to follow around like that?
I don't know. No, I always just would like to see acts as they came, but like my tastes were always all over the place. Whether it's going to see
I don't know if he's still watching, but my cousin Jordan was in here a few minutes ago, and he has got some ridiculous amount of Dave Matthews shows under his belt. Follows a guy everywhere, even into foreign countries.
Even breakfast.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like hero worship, I guess. I don't know what you'd call it. But did you ever have a band that you worshipped like that. Let's do that.
I mean,
I got way into Humphreys McGee for a while, downloading live shows all the time and listening to them. And I still listen to them quite a bit, but not as much as I used to. They kind of filled that void where Fish left when I stopped listening to them.
Yeah, Paul Tracy makes a good point. There's no Fish after '97. That was about the time I stopped listening to him too.
Yeah. They kind of pretty much hit or miss after that. Mostly miss, but
Yeah.
These are all Todd Havlin subjects.
I know. Where's
Yeah?
Todd? Jeez, yeah.
right.
I haven't heard from Todd,
Todd had work.
and we miss Todd. Todd, and Todd's a great guy. I love Todd.
Yeah.
Yep.
Todd's the sweetest.
And when you told me that you had replaced Adam with Todd, I was like, yes. I didn't think Todd was looking for anything.
Well, Adam's a guitar player, and
he is. He's a great guitar player.
Yep,
and it must have been weird when we asked him to play bass. I don't think he had played bass. He didn't even have a bass available already. He was just like, "Yeah, I'll do it. That's a cool idea."
Yeah.
And but then when we got Todd, it was like. And we also had Tommy Rizak, who was a great bassist too, but he just his priorities and our priorities just didn't match up or align right. So then,
as happens with a lot of bands,
totally.
You think you got the perfect lineup, and then somebody's life takes over,
exactly.
and that's how it happens.
And then
or COVID takes over in this case.
Or COVID takes over.
Well, when Todd stepped in too, that was like another. I don't know, big moment for me too. It was like seeing this really professional, like really adequate, really professional, like really expert bass player who could just do anything on the fly, and he could. I don't know. It was like really crazy. Same with Ride. The situation was the same for me. They just sat down. And they were like, "All right, let's do it." There was no like, "Well, explain this to me," or none of that. They just sat down. They're like, "All right, got it. Good. Let's do it."
Yep.
And
Todd wrote one of my favorite songs ever.
Really?
With Shu, called Grandpa.
Oh,
I love that song.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that song.
Great singer.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite Shu song. Actually,
we got to get Todd on the lead one of these days for singing.
Oh yeah. Find a good song for him.
He took a little while to warm up to the microphone while playing bass with us for a little bit because we do some weird shit. And some of the harmonies and stuff too are really freaking high. And he just never wanted to use a mic. And then one day he's like, "All right, I'm ready for the mic." And then he was like,
killing it.
Like, he's crushing me out of the water. I'm like, "What the fuck is going on? You didn't want a microphone, man?" I'm like, "Oh my God."
I'll be right back.
You're empty? Give me one while you're going. So Uncle Funker basically was Brandon coming up with that on the fly on the way back from your place.
Yeah.
Name anyway.
Yeah. So when you decided, you're having this band, it's called Uncle Funker. When you went to pick, I don't want to say pick a set list, but when you went to start experimenting with the songs, tell me what that was like as far as trying to match, because I know what it's like when you get brand new funk songs and try to match it with other funk songs. It's not as easy as it seems. Tell me how that went for you guys.
Well, for me, I know I like Sasha mentioned earlier, like we just want to try to make it so, there's a beat and a good dance, a good hook, memorable songs that, people like. I know kind of at the beginning we kind of went out a little jam sessions here a little bit because Adam and I were both kind of like fish heads from back in the day, so we
a
bunch of Fish, so it would always segue into like some Fish song or something during the practices.
No, but he's right. That's like one of the jam elements that we took with us is just a continuous show, and no one knows what the song is starting or finishing. But for the funk songs and stuff, I mean, we all had these huge expectations, and we're like, "Oh, we're gonna do this song and that song." I mean, like I wanted to do a lot of Zapp, a lot of Roger Troutman and Zapp, but without.
I love Zapp.
Yeah, I mean,
it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, honestly, one of the greatest funk bands of all time. But then we would work on songs, then we'd play them, and it would just be like, well, they had like 3 keyboard players, horns, you know what I mean, dancers, singers, and we just. That's
what you need, a horn player.
Yeah, we're a 4-piece.
Yeah, we're a 4-piece.
You need a horn player.
But I mean, like I came out with my pedal board of all the different synthesizers and stuff to just fill in the gaps as much as I could. but like you had to be super conscious with I mean, we had to be super conscious of how much we were taking on our plates. You know, like even George Clinton, some of his songs sound like really simple and like you could just
But
do
they're
it.
not.
No, they're
yeah,
not.
absolutely not at all.
And
Yeah.
and to make it even sound anything close like George Clinton, you have to put a lot of effort into these. And some of them, it's like, if we're gonna do that, then we need to tour, and that needs to be our freaking job. You know what I mean? That's all we're gonna do is play these couple George Clinton songs in our set list. You know?
After you get off of here, go on my Facebook page and find that picture of me as a DJ back in '83, and you'll see an autographed George Clinton.
Oh, here comes Russell in my video.
Hi, Russell. An autographed George Clinton album cover behind me on the wall.
Kidding. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
from my DJ booth back in the day.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you changed your camera. Oh, we can see you moving.
He's moving.
He's
No,
moving.
I picked up the camera like 20 minutes ago to hand to Russell, and now it's catching up.
That's hilarious.
And look at him moving around. Look, everybody. Look how animated Brandon finally is.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do funk without George Clinton. I mean, he's the granddaddy.
We keep trying though too. We keep trying to get like George Clinton and all these great guys, Prince and stuff in there.
I think we're going to be able to get Flashlight pretty good though. I think we got that one.
Don't count your
if we
eggs
can ever
till they're
practice.
If
we can ever try it.
Well, like I've said, you're welcome to go through some of my old tapes. You might find some funk you never heard of before. Because I used to get.
I got a record player.
Well, back in the day, I used to get. I was in the record pool, DJ record pool, so the record companies would send me the new product. Didn't matter if it was a hit record or not. I got it. You know, thousands of records over the years, and I would have to try to play them at least once, every single one of them, to get a feel for if it's going to work or not. We didn't know that they were hits yet or not. How would you know if it's a brand new product? So there's some interesting stuff on some of those tapes. You might find a couple of songs that you like. I'll let you borrow them. So we've talked about Uncle Funker, the name. We've talked about the transition between the old guys and the new guys. And you did your first show at an open mic?
Yeah, we did at Googs.
Yeah, Googs open mic. And that was fun.
Before me.
That was before
Ryan. Yeah, it was before and Todd.
Yeah, we did a couple of open mics there. I think 2 or 3 of them.
We had a couple of the same songs though back then.
Yeah, you had a few. Yeah. There's a couple of little mashups there. Yeah, Corey Wong.
But the mashup was different too back then.
Yep.
Yeah, it was. Yep. But I like the way it works now. I think that it's better, a lot better.
It's a lot more structured and formatted with these guys, which I like a lot.
So when was the first show with this lineup?
I think
Jim Robinson.
Well, yeah,
Jim Robinson's that benefit at Lawrence Street.
His pre-birthday party.
Okay.
Yep.
So it took a good amount of practice for us to get back to.
I mean, we pretty much spent the whole summer, learning songs and
everybody was new. Everybody was new.
Arranging mashups and transitions and
right.
We had a good amount of gigs lined up for this year so far, which I mean, everybody got fucking whacked, but this was gonna be like our real coming out year.
Well, I think everybody's is going to go into next year. I think everybody's going to have their coming out. That was going to have a coming out year this year. It's going to be next year.
Yeah.
Because I don't see, from people talking to different venue people and stuff, even if the state reopens phase 4 in August, the summer's gone.
Yeah.
Get all that money, all those opportunities, and the venue owners are going to want time to get rolling again, and then bring back live music. So I don't see live music coming back till the fall at the earliest.
Yeah.
So then that brings you back to let's plan for next year. Yeah. I think that's just my opinion. Yep. I have a question for you, Rye. Matt LaFar wants to know who your favorite member of King's English was, because when you were in the band, you must have been your own favorite, so it's not Matt. And he's going to be disappointed to know that. But
no,
it's definitely not Matt, right?
No, everybody. Matt's my second favorite. And a mad joke. Everyone else is tied for first. Love you, Matt.
Yeah. I'm sure he was thinking that he was going to get a different answer.
Boom
So let
roast.
me just tell people that they can find you guys on Facebook at facebook.com/Uncle Funker.
Mhm.
Yep.
And Sasha, you also have a solo project.
Yeah, I do.
where It's there's one song I really like from that solo project, but here's the address for that. What's it called? Upstate.
New York, but it's spelled silly. I did
Yeah, it is.
I spelled it a little phonetically
And you can
incorrect.
find it on Spotify and where else?
Amazon, Google Play, iTunes, Apple Music. I think it's even on Napster. I didn't even know Napster was
Napster
around.
was still around.
Yeah.
It's on MySpace.
It's on MySpace. You can get it on
and
Ask Jeeves.
GeoCities and Angel Fire.
You got to download Ask Jeeves. He'll know where to take you guys.
No.
Just type in the old Yahoo.
But the whole album's about upstate New York. I mean, some places got excluded. I just
Gloversville.
Well, you got to.
Gloversville.
When you get ready to do that Schenectady song, the video for that, I want to do that one.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
Me too.
I've
We can
got
tag team it,
space.
though.
I've got places in Schenectady that I really want to show you.
Yeah. Okay, cool. No, I'm definitely down. I mean, that's like the whole point of the album too. Is like I wanted to show nobody in the United States knows about upstate New York. Like they might know about like Lake George or Albany, maybe.
Right,
But
exactly.
it's.
And they know about Dannemora since the convicts ran away.
Yeah.
That's
right.
about the only way they know that.
You're right, but I mean, the places. It's like the people are great. I mean, they're fucking assholes, but they're great. They work hard, and
It's true.
no, they're you know what I mean. They're fucking assholes, but they work hard, and it's an uphill battle that everybody's been willing to take for a couple of decades now. Like this area's been de-invested, and it's been neglected by the state, it's been neglected by the federal government. You know what I mean? So the whole album it's like it's a bit of communication to the outside world of people who don't know what's going on with upstate New York. It's fucking nice, but like the trees look nice, but there's like fucking plastic bags ripping through them all in Amsterdam. You know what I mean? Like they look great, but like the bushes and the woods look great until you find like a bunch of old motors laying out rusted and some oil cans and toxic chemicals from the leather mills. But
yeah,
other than that,
especially out your way, the leather mills. Over here my way, it's Fort Edward and GE.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like it's funny too, like no matter where you are in upstate New York, like everybody has their terrible toxic past with like large companies and industries that just were like they gave everybody jobs to ruin the environment, and they're like, all right,
Genesee Beer and Kodak out in the Rochester area.
Yeah, exactly.
There's all that poor shit going on in Buffalo, and you've got Endicott Johnson and all the shoemakers with the leather stuff too, in the Southern Tier, Binghamton, and then you've got a wasteland all along Long Island where there were a bunch of things. It's the whole state's full of that, and we're probably not the only state, but the whole state. So I think the what I like about that album of yours, I'll just say this, is that you found the humor in each one of those places. The lyrics in your songs, you found the humor of it. Even though it is kind of dismal in some of those places, you did find some humor in it, and that's what I liked about those songs.
And the songs are upbeat. It's a funk album, but all the songs are upbeat. I don't know the slowest BPMs, but I can't imagine it's anything lower than 110.
So, Uncle Funker is playing Gloversville. Are they playing any of the rest of them?
A couple.
But
you're gonna play a couple?
Well, we practiced.
We do Gloversville, but we have another one too. We're gonna. You want to do? I thought you sent me.
Yeah, I sent you guys some new songs too.
Yeah.
We've I think practiced one of them a couple times here and there too. I can't think of which one.
We practiced Albany a little bit, but it's hard to perform, and that's my fault. I go into this like the studio, and I'm not even thinking about like is this doable by a band. I just puke out the idea, and then once it's out, I just work on it, and then it's done. It's done. But Gloversville just really worked out well for the band, and it was received so well. We played at Friends Day. Kai
Hi,
guy.
Cairo.
He just got out of the bath. He's eating a
The
cookie.
littlest,
Hi.
hi.
Riley.
Say
Hi.
hi.
What's up, dog?
Say hi. He can't
Haven't
hear
seen
you.
him in
Have
a
the headphones
while.
on.
No,
Oh yeah, he can't hear
he's
that.
not even gonna wave at me.
No, he can't hear you. Say hi. Wave, Kai.
So
Hi.
apparently you get hi.
Yo, my kids miss your kid, man.
I know. We got to get together, dude.
I know they really.
When
miss
this is all over, we'll have a big party. I
Hell
keep telling
yeah.
everybody that we're gonna have a big party. Everybody's gonna be there.
Uncle
Yep.
Funko will play.
I've talked to Jonathan Newell about doing something like that at the Strand.
At the
Oh, really?
Strand,
Yeah.
Really?
we're
What's
gonna
the
have a
headway?
big party.
Well, who knows? When everything's still kind of up in the air at this point.
Yeah,
still.
they have no. I was over there today. They have no idea when they're
Yep.
anything.
He is working on drive-in concerts, though.
Oh wow.
Just FYI.
So
Yeah.
Uncle
Well, there's a
Funkster's ready
couple
to
of
go.
people that are working on drive-in concerts.
Totally.
Yeah. So I mean,
I think
whoever
Dave,
gets to it
Dave
first,
Eamon
is
as
gonna-
well.
Yeah, and Wild Adriatic, they're trying to get a hold of the Glen, and I know that Sean Spillinger from Nanola is trying to get the Malta Drive-In. So I mean,
Nice.
it's all in the works. I mean, you can't stay cooped up all summer, without getting it out somehow. I mean, it's an impossible task to keep people in all summer. It's not going to happen. So, is this your mom, Sasha? Penna?
Yeah, Penna's my mom.
Yeah, she says that you get your humor from her.
That's a gosh darn lie. My mother would
Hi,
beat
Mom.
me senseless with an inch of my life every night just before I went to. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, gosh.
With a 2x4.
Yeah,
With a
brick.
2x4?
No,
Oh, you had it
funny.
tough.
No,
You
my
had it
mom's
tough.
fun. No, she's funny. She did give me some of the humor, but most of it I got just having a blast in the United States Marine Corps. Just a total blast.
She's laughing.
Ice cream time, nap time.
Yeah, military life is different. So we can't talk about your future because it's not,
Never
you're not
gonna
headed
happen.
that way. Well, you're not headed that way yet. But we're getting to the end of the show. You got to talk about what the future
Of Uncle Funker
holds
is.
for this band. Yeah, what do you want to achieve really?
I want
Besides
to
a
go on-
record,
Yeah.
a
Well,
record and a lot of money.
No, I don't even care about money. I want to speak to these other guys, but I don't care about money. I just want enough money to be able to build off of what we already have. I need singers and I need horn players and I need all this other stuff. And I want to do
Guitar pedals.
No, I don't. I'm done
More
with guitar
pedals?
pedals. No, I'm done. A couple
Always
more
more
actually.
pedals.
A couple more.
That
No,
freaking pedal board of yours.
but I need things, and I want to record like a in studio live album of us. I think that would be probably the next big thing for us is just to have
It's pretty cool.
a live recorded album of us just playing continuously from start of the song to the end. But for performance wise and stuff, I of course I want a record deal. But it's just to have access to the tools I need. You know what I mean? Like if I want to record backup singers in the studio in our next album, then I really would like to have that performing with us. You know what I mean? You need all this stuff way beforehand, and you need capital to be able to even set this kind of stuff up. So, I mean, I know I really want to get in the studio soon, but I want to. It sucks because you can't play together at the moment. But I want to organically write songs with these guys, where it's just come up with it at the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had a little bit of that with the old lineup.
Yeah,
We would-
exactly.
Well, we would take an entire Sunday and just play all day,
Yeah.
and we have a lot of time to just kind of experiment and try things out and segue into Fish a lot of times.
No, usually when they do Fish, I go on break.
Yeah. That's smart. I would too.
Right?
So,
Rise drinking ranch dressing.
what?
Saw that.
Ranch dressing. So, other than the live album, no other real plan?
Well, just to play and have
Play and
for
keep
me
going?
anyway. Just to play. I just like playing.
I want to do another Strand show
Oh, live stream.
Just a live stream, but I want to show people. I want to actually do like a practice. We just played a bunch of the songs we used to know, but
We used to know.
I want to do one where to show people the process of us just getting together and making it work. And like 9 times out of 10, like the first go around of our practice is just like a killer version. Kai guy, nice to see you, bun. But I mean, it's weird. Like, we're really good at just coming together and having a good time. So like the playing a jam and stuff is fun for everybody, but it's really natural. And
That's an interesting topic. Is the synergy or synchronicity of the people in the band? Some people never get it. Some bands never get it totally, where they all mesh together really well. A lot of them have like 2 or 3 people mesh together, and there's always somebody on the outside. But I don't see that with this lineup that you have. I think that you've got a very harmonious group of people.
Yeah.
What do you think? Maybe I'm reading that wrong.
no, we like to communicate.
In more ways than one,
Yeah.
or just one?
No, I think for me that's the biggest thing is we communicate really well, and that's where a lot of the synergy comes from. Because you're gonna make mistakes no matter what. Like if you ever guess or assume, you're bound to make a mistake. If you're tossing in the dark, you're gonna miss your target. So we just communicate a lot. Even like in practice more so. We just talk so much about like what this idea is gonna be.
Hold on, honey. Sorry, guys.
It's all
That's
right.
all right. That's also part of the band life. Family.
Yeah. 3
You
of us.
gotta work.
have
You
kids.
gotta work. Yeah, Brandon's got a kid.
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah.
That high energy
That
dog.
that high energy dog of his.
Yeah.
That's a kid.
Yeah.
He needs watching all the
Yep.
time.
We
all
do
the
sing
time.
together well. Like, and it's funny too, because you can tell with the musicians that we've brought in and they've, wandered on, no big deal. They've continued on their path or whatever, but we have just really stuck together. It's a good, even during the coronavirus, we talk almost every day, or, I mean,
Yeah,
communicate a little
sending
bit.
memes back to each other. Or
Memes.
song
Oh, that's really
ideas,
cool.
or-
You
yeah,
know.
mostly memes, but
But a lot of us too, other than Brandon and I, we never knew each other. We've never been that close. We just, this was like a good catalyst for us and our friendship.
Friendship. Okay. So, is there anything you want people to know about the band that we haven't talked about already? What do you want people to know about you guys? What do you want
Rye's
them to
really
take?
using a drum machine.
Whoa, those are fighting words.
Oh, it's, it's actually a machine playing.
Is there something, what do you want people to take away from seeing you today? What do you want them to take
Sasha
away?
doing a full split.
Oh yeah. No, I can't.
He can.
No way.
Badass. He doesn't do it enough.
left
He
over from
really?
the Marine days.
No,
Oh,
no.
wow.
Well, maybe you do some weird stuff, but no, I did. I can, and I like to do this thing like a rolling split kind of, where I just do a split and I can keep dancing, and one leg's flattened out and then the other knee is touching, so it's like.
And can you do that while holding a guitar?
Yeah.
He has. He did it at Jim's party, like staring at a guy.
Oh,
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I missed that. I want to see that, and I want to put it on
Yeah.
film. We're
Hell
going to
yeah.
do that. One of these days, we're going to do that.
I can split. I like to perform.
Pressure.
I could tell. Thanks so much for coming on. We're getting to the end of our hour. We got like a minute left. If you want to say hi to your family, hi to mom and dad. And I'll just tell people that next week I've got the women in music, Katie Cole, Aaron Harkis, Deb Kavanaugh, a bunch of really great women in local music are going to be here next week. And on the 14th of June, my next Meet the Band show is going to be No More Death Stars. So hopefully you guys will come back for that. That's an indie punk band from Glens Falls. They're pretty cool dudes and lady. And so I thank you guys for being here. And
Thank you
I'm sure
for having us.
I think we're gonna run into each other again sometime when this is all over, this Corona thing.
Or even for another live stream before that.
Or
maybe.
for another live stream before that, let me know. I'm going to be here. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
And-
yeah.
So-
and so is everybody.
Yeah. So good to see you all. Hope you're all safe and happy and well. And until next time.
Thank you. Stay safe, everybody.
Thank you, audience. Come back next Sunday for the next episode. It's going to be great. Night.